Debt is no fun. It's even worse when you have, no money to pay off the debt. Today on Two Wants to Know, we're talking about handling your money and debts and credit cards and all the things. That's why Janae Adams and Nate Grant are joining us to answer questions about finances, handling debt, credit cards, you name it. These money experts can answer it. So how do you get your question to the experts? Well, this is what you do. You get your phone and you text that question to 336-379-5775. Again, that is text only, so please don't call. All right, first and foremost, Nate, let's start with the credit cards that would be good for people if they have got a low credit score and they're trying to build it back up and they do need a credit card. What should they be looking for?
Yeah, it might seem like your options are limited because you got to be approved for credit cards, and if you already have bad credit, especially after something like the pandemic with a lot of strains and stuff that might have caused bad decisions that could make it worse, it might seem hopeless. But there are actually a few good options. But one of the best is actually what's called secured credit cards. And if you apply for one of those cards and you're approved, they act like a regular credit card in terms of the way you spend. But what you do is you actually put a deposit down, which is basically funding the credit limit. So you can report all your positive activity to the credit bureaus like you would with a regular credit card to start building credit. But that limit is set by what you put in as the initial deposit, and that makes it a little less risky for the bank or issuers that give you the secure credit card. So it's a good option to do that. But another good option is also retail store credit cards, because even though they tend to have higher than average APRs, they also are a little more lenient when it comes to applying, and sometimes they make good first credit cards. So even if you are coming from somewhere with bad credit, it's also a good place if you don't have any credit built up at all. So just a couple initial ways you can do it. But once you have them, you want to make sure that you're paying them responsibly.
Yes, and I know that that's always where it goes to. Janae, you are definitely one of those proponents of, you know what, when you get that credit card balance, you need to pay that off.
Yes, definitely. I'm all about, making sure that you're staying out of debt so that you can build up your emergency fund for the things that you want in the future. So definitely that, yeah.
All right, let's talk about that emergency fund. Let's talk about summer travel, because lots and lots of families are now ready to do that summer vacation. Things are being lifted, so they really do want to get out of the house. So how does that work with our budget?
Yeah, so as soon as you get your emergency fund done, now it's time to save up for what you wanted to do. And a lot of people wanted to travel. We've been cooped up for a year and some change. And so it's time to kind of get out. And right now, it's so many different deals. Today by itself, I've seen $400 flights to all parts of Europe. Okay, all parts of Europe, and they're letting vaccinated Americans in this summer, so you can be, confident that you're going to be able to go over there. I just seen Greece before we got on for $500 from Charlotte. So there are a lot of different options, yes, out there. So start getting your money together, start saving that money so that you can have a great summer vacation.
So what I hear you saying is start saving your money. So people go, so do I need to have all of my vacation money ready? Can I put some of it on a credit card? What should I be looking at as the balance?
Yeah, so for me, all of my vacations are always cash. So I save my money. I actually have a shirt that says save, travel, repeat. And I actually pay for my all of my vacation in cash because I find them so cheap anyway. Like I said, a $500 flight to Greece, I probably would spend $600 or $700 at the most on a hotel, and then food maybe $200. So I'm looking at a $1,200 trip to Greece, round trip. You can't beat that. And I can usually save up $1,200 with no problem.
And that is a bucket list item for sure. Okay. Nathan, this person is asking, what does pre-approved mean when I get those credit card offers?
Yeah, so every time you apply manually for a credit card, they do a hard inquiry on your credit reports, and that can sometimes make your credit scores go down a little bit, but that's because a deeper dive is being done on your credit reports. But a lot of times you get those things in the mail saying you were pre-approved, and you're like, wait a minute, did somebody do a hard inquiry on my credit? And you don't have to worry, because those are usually judged on what's called a soft pull. Soft inquiries don't affect your credit scores, but they're still able to kind of gauge where your standing is a little bit and offer sometimes beneficial offers if it's something like a balance transfer that could help you get out of debt from another credit card you already have. But a lot of times it's just like any other junk mail too. It's like you gotta make sure you read the terms before applying for anything.
Right. And this person followed it up with, why do you continue to get credit card offers when your credit is fair? Well,
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much is it right there. I mean, you got to remember credit card companies and banks, they're businesses at the end of the day, so they're always trying to get new customers and stuff. So the best thing about it is, though, it's all in your hands, so you don't have to sign up for anything that you don't want to.
All right, so coming back in the next segment, we're going to be talking about bankruptcy and how to come out of that. We want you to make sure that you get your text question in on time. We've got one more segment, 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.